नमस्कार। तिरु लक्ष्मीनारायण जी, तिरु टी.एन. मनोहरन जी, तिरु पट्टाभिराम, तिरु शिवकुमार, my dear sisters and brothers, I am really happy to be with you all today to release this book, Future of Education, 9 Mega Trends, and address you. Before I speak, I would like to compliment the three speakers, Mr. Lakshmanarayan, Manoharan, and also Pattaviram, for presenting the overall view of what is happening on the digital front and the need for the same. It would have been ideal to have met you face to face, but you know that the current situation doesn't make this possible. So I have to release this volume virtually and address you from Uparashtrapati Nivas. My dear friends, today we are in the midst of a major health emergency. It's really an emergency. We are all working together to emerge victorious. In these difficult times, a number of aspects of our life are changing. Education is no exception. Technology is playing a greater role, and most of educational processes are being conducted online. I am glad to know that the ICT Academy, a joint initiative of the Government of India and the state governments, have been using the power of technology to impart skills. I would like to recall the Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Bhai Modi's advice to the nation: reform, perform, and transform. And he also said, in future, the online should be the main line so that there is no need for any line. I am happy this is bringing industry and academy closer. I am also pleased to know that it is continuing to serve academic community through initiatives such as the Sky Campus. I applaud the ICT Academy for its efforts. My dear sisters and brothers, this book I just released highlights some important trends and points to the future in education. We must take note of them. If you look back at the past, in the ancient India, we had a system of Gurukula in which Shishya was sent to live at the Guruji's home or ashram. Based on the Shishya's abilities, Samardhya, the Guru would suggest a customized curriculum. He used to design tests to make sure that the students mastered what was taught to them. This was individualized learning at its best. Then around 1000 BC, Takshashila University was set up and became a major center of higher education. In this university, students used to learn as per their choice. Teachers had complete autonomy in designing courses. The course durations were also flexible. Around the 5th century AD, Nalanda blossomed in modern-day Bihar. The institution was very similar to today's universities and had lecture halls and residential quarters and also libraries. My dear sisters and brothers, the education of the 21st century is very different from the Gurukula days and how education was delivered in Takshashila and Nalanda at that time. The education sector has been transforming rapidly in the last few decades. We have seen unprecedented expansion of opportunities. There has been a digital explosion and a knowledge revolution. And it's an ongoing evolution that has to be fostered further. More children are in schools and universities than earlier. The skills required for a changing world have been evolving continuously. In the midst of this transformation, We now have to face the challenging context of pandemic. This is forcing each one of us to seek new ways of doing what we have been doing for a number of years. To survive in this new world, education institutions are going digital. Students and teachers are connected through cloud-based platforms. They are communicating, sharing, working, and completing projects. Examinations are also being conducted online. New technologies are being used for that purpose. We can clearly foresee that in the years to come, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and augmented reality will transform the classrooms. This will also transform the way teachers teach and students learn. These changes will make it necessary to have a reorientation of the teacher training. That is very essential. The teacher will have to learn new skills of delivering learning online. The students would have to learn new skills. They have to be self-learners and collaborative learners. Technology offers immense opportunities. One can now carry a lot of books in smartphone. There are a number of audios and videos available online. These learning resources compress time and space and make learning much more convenient and interesting. Would it not be wonderful if sitting in a remote village in India, an aspiring scholar can access a book in the library at Harvard? With online laboratories, students can access machines anytime from anywhere and can practice before getting into a real lab. The teacher now plays the role of a facilitator, a guide, a counselor, and a coach, and very often that of a friend to the student. As the book mentions, the role of teacher will change from that of a sage on the stage to a guide by the side of the student. Teachers must therefore adopt their approach to learning in tune with the rapidly changing scenario. My dear brothers and sisters, technology opens up new possibilities, but also makes us realize the big digital divide in our society. There are many children who do not have access to digital devices. We have to realize the dream of universal quality primary education. If we have to have an equitable secondary and higher education, we will have to address the issues of this wide gap in access to technology. Technology must be accessible and affordable. This is very important. A large number of students are impacted due to the lockdown as they find it hard to study online. Many of them need hand-holding to shift from offline to online. They require proper training to pursue education through online modes. Many parents in India still cannot afford digital devices. Sorry. Bridging the digital divide is too big and complex a task for the government to accomplish on its own. That's why I call upon the private sector, especially educational technology firms, to adopt and contextualize the products as per the needs of the learners and price them to make them affordable. This is your time to make a momentous contribution to nation building and securing a bright future for all our children. BharatNet is connecting all the villages with high-speed broadband network. With this, ensuring digital connectivity has become much easier. The state governments, in collaboration with private sector and the NGOs, must come up with out-of-box solutions to make quality education at all levels a reality. This is a moment of disruption. The way we live, learn, earn, rest, and work is changing. Let us understand the changes and adopt creatively, collectively, to the new normal. Let us prepare for and shape the future by turning adversity into an opportunity. We have a huge demographic advantage waiting to be converted into a demographic dividend. 65% of our population is below 35 years. 50% of our population is below 25 years. We should not miss this opportunity. We should enhance access to knowledge and skills to all children so that each one of them realizes his or her innate potential. My dear sisters and brothers, we need education for progress and development. Education is not for employment alone. Education is for enlightenment. Education is for enhancement of knowledge. Equally important is the role of education in character building. Education should be value-based and make the students not only acquire knowledge but also wisdom. The curriculum should include various aspects of our rich cultural heritage and highlight the importance of protecting nature. That's why I always say nature, culture together for a better future. Protect nature and preserve culture for a better future. Teachers play the most crucial role in shaping the character of a child after his or her parents. Therefore, teachers should have societal concerns. We must develop a model of education that reflects Indian culture and ethos. We need to inculcate cultural, moral, ethical, and spiritual values among children. I extend a special appreciation to Sri Shivakumar, CEO, ICT Academy, and Sri V. Pattabhiram, and who is the author of this book, for bringing out the thought-provoking book. Though small, it's very beautiful and also dutiful. This book can be a starting point for a process of reflection and action. It provides a good basis for further work on transforming the learning process of tomorrow. Finally, I wish ICT Academy all success in all its endeavors that contribute to nation building. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.